Dre
The Romans
to
came.
Wednesday.
The Romans, somebody came up with Wednesday.
Socrates.
And we're pronouncing it wrong.
Absolutely.
It's definitely Wednesday.
Absolutely.
It wins. The fuck out of here.
Wins.
All right, let's. What were we talking about? What were we saying? What were you saying just now? We talked. If y'all not putting Kanye in the conversation, then I'm not putting Drake in that conversation.
No, I'm putting him there second, personally.
See, I'm not putting Drake there as well because I think Drake writes. I just don't know what exactly.
If he doesn't write,
see, Drake
writes. Come on.
Let me say this point before I forget. That's the reason that I separate Dre from Puff. Is because Dre has produced in every generation from 80, whatever that was, which is very difficult.
He's the greatest hip hop producer of all time.
And somehow, in a weird way, Drake is that for me in the microwave era.
huh?
Explain.
He got a long way to go.
Oh, of course. I'm never saying.
Right. No disrespect.
It's two totally different talents to me.
I'm saying that in the microwave era, like, we appreciate longevity and Dre doing what he did in all these different eras and times of sounds changing and all of this shit because sounds changed so distantly.
Right.
Today, that's not really the case. So I give Drake a lot of credit for creating a sound that's lasted, finding the next sound. The sounds change like every year and a half, 2 years.
And he's been at the forefront of a lot of it.
Or he found the person that was.
True.
And brought them to the forefront.
He does a great job at that.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean.
And honestly, I feel like that's really the only way you can really survive in something that changes so much as music does. You need to keep the young creatives that know what the next sound is, that's creating the next sound, that's dictating the next wave. So, I mean, he does a great job at just, homing a lot of these young producers and young writers and young artists and just let them grow. And I mean, what young artist wouldn't want to come up under Drake? Like?
Yeah, but that's not even, I feel like that's not giving him enough credit because you're not just like, oh, you know what's the next wave is this reggae Afrobeat shit.
I mean, obviously he has the pull to make it kind of be the next wave, but to have the ear that it sounds good enough to say, I think I'm going to help make this the next wave.
Right.
And that's why I hold one of my favorite Drake bars is, I wonder how they would survive in this era when talking about the older rappers. Because I can't say that. Everyone knows I'm a Hov stan. I don't have evidence of sounds changing as frequently as they do in Drake's era and still staying relevant.
But he has been
not to say
catalyst.
Do it, but
we have to give Drake credit because a lot of the sound changes that have happened have been at his
merit.
Yeah,
he changed the sound in other genres.
Yeah. We got to give him.
It's a little nuts.
And to everyone that's screaming at their computer right now, we're saying to the mainstream. Obviously, we know Drake did not create Afro beats or any of that shit. We're talking about to the mainstream, everyone.
Yeah.
Just want to make that clear.
Yeah, right, it's true.
We know that he didn't take the fucking Atlanta sound. Like we
right.
He just made it mainstream.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, that's important. They kicked our ass.
Yeah.
So that's off on a tangent. And we're 30 minutes in. So do y'all want to get to the shits now, or do you want to? All of it is the shits to me because I want to talk about the Empire dude.
Okay,
that's nuts to me.
That's nuts.
Yeah, he did.
Man,
it's an interesting statement.
All right, I'm shutting up then.
Why?
No, we can't shut up.
I'm insensitive. Y'all talk.
No, you're not insensitive.
What statement did he make?
The statement was more saying, I mean, he started with "My body's fine, my soul is stronger," the things that we all wanted to hear for his health because we all care about how he is doing.
Right.
He then went on to explain that everything that happened in the story is factual, and he's going to make sure that we all know it's factual, which was a little odd to me.
It's a lie. He's lying.
But yes, his statement was very vague.
I am happy
and he
that
is addressing the people that have said that it is false, and it sounds weird, and everything in that story has holes.
Okay.
Yo, grow up.
Y'all thought that sandwich was gonna get him out of here? That nigga was getting the subway, goddammit. Safe and sound at 2 a.m.
Listen. Now that he's okay, can we talk about his palate? Have y'all ate at Subway before?
Subway's offensive.
Fam, do y'all believe his story?
After reading more of the details, I will say there's a little bit of skepticism. I don't even want to say a little bit. I'm very skeptical about the entire story.
It just doesn't. Let's just be honest. It just
Thank you,
doesn't,
Mo.
It just doesn't add up.
Yeah, I hate when niggas think black people are stupid. People are stupid.
If I get beat up right now, and this is just me, if I get jumped outside right now and dudes tie a noose around my neck, I'm not waiting 3 hours, 2 hours to call the police, and for sure when the police show up, that noose will not still be around my neck.
And that's the first thing that should have gave you reason to quarrel. Any black person that tells you that they had a noose put on them and left it there for the next 45 minutes, you should ask questions.
Yeah,
that's not a normal thing, just in psychology. Yeah. But okay,
it didn't even have to be noose. If it was whatever on me, that wasn't on me before I left my house.
He said in the statement that he was doing it to preserve the evidence.
Well, I would believe that if I would believe that if your next move after this attack was to call the police, it was not.
Right, it was not exactly.
You called your manager, and that was 40 minutes later.
Yeah,
and then the police got a call, and then it became a witch hunt of evidence because they know there's footage, so there has to be footage. So then the cops go and get footage, and they didn't get footage of an attack. because they didn't call these people suspects. They called them persons of interest, which you do when you just have a picture of some shit and you have no idea what the fuck these people did. But how could that be the case when there was a letter sent to Chicago Fox 5 News of a bunch of pasty shit pasted everywhere? Letters, it looked like the Silence of the Lambs nigga wrote that shit.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That could possibly happen.
For sure.
Got it.
Sure.
Then you're telling me Lee Daniels was the first person to post about this tag and immediately deleted it. Okay. That's fine too.
Can we just be honest?
That's fine too.
Can we just be honest for a second? Who would want to attack this dude? Like, how he's not a person that somebody would say, him, we're going after. He's not that. I'm not saying he's not relevant, but we don't talk about him every day. He's not somebody that's big in the news every day. He's not like, so I just don't even understand why. That's just, it's such a random thing, and it seems like such an elaborate plan. But when you look at it, it's like, this does not make any fucking sense. Clearly somebody came together and planned something and tried to cover all of their bases. Like, okay, let's send a letter here. Let's do this. But it's like, when you look at it, fam, this don't make no fucking sense.
Hey, let's talk further. I'm not going to go all the way what you're saying because hate crimes do exist.
Absolutely.
So if this were indeed a hate crime, we wouldn't say that.
Right.
But we don't feel that it was.
Right.
Us. And, it's a shame that we in this era where I got to think twice about if I'm allowed to think something.
Right.
I don't believe that nigga was a hate crime. I don't believe that.
Right.
Sorry. I should reserve that right, is what I'm saying today.
Which makes it all the worse if that is the case, because these hate crimes do happen.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
So now you're taking away from the believability, which I don't even know if it's a word. But it's
I
like,
think it's a word.
Yeah,
And if it's not, you body that creation of a word.
Yeah.
I mean, in the event that it is false, it's also bad, like to add the political element to it. You give it.
Wait, y'all fast forwarding.
Okay.
Let me just explain a little
Go
more.
ahead.
So, what was the last thing said? Cops call 45 minutes later. A funny letter sent to Fox News. Oh, Lee Daniels, post and delete. That's fine. But then the very next post I saw was from Taraji.
Right.
And it said, hey, vicious attack, blah, 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 blah. The third line, what? Oh, no.
Stream his music.
Stream his music. Make sure his music is streamed 50 million times. Wait a minute now. You're not telling me that somebody involved in a hate crime is you're trying to promote their music. That just don't seem right to me.
That didn't even feel like Taraji saying that.
I could never see Taraji saying that. And I don't know her, but it was
I don't know her either.
Weird.
And if it didn't feel weird, it felt weird coupled with Lee Daniels' post and delete. And it felt a whole lot weirder when the video of whatever single she was promoting had a dude with a noose in it. I've seen enough.
Yeah. It's a little fishy.
I've seen a fucking enough.
That's some sick shit.
In my opinion, and this is my opinion, and I'm explaining this to y'all because I had to learn this as well. I had to learn why I couldn't immediately come tell y'all that I had a fight with 7 niggas the day before the third story video shoot where I got my fucking ass beat. I couldn't tell y'all that. And I told some people that were in my best interest. And some of the conversation was, let's come up with a story. I'm telling you that when famous people are doing something that they have no business doing, sometimes stories are created to protect against that.
Absolutely.
And what better way to do it than something that no one will question, which is a hate crime.
Absolutely.
And if I thought you would question one hate crime, guess what the fuck I'm gonna do? You guessed it. I'm gonna put icing on the cake and make it 2. You black nigger and you gay bastard. That is appealing to a multitude of audiences.
Yeah, for sure.
And what Jinx said to me earlier was, damn, I never even thought about none of this shit you saying, Joe, because I never looked past hate crime. You said it was a hate crime and I'm all in. That's the point, Jinx. We're in an era today where emotions are manipulated by the powers that be. I'm not saying that is what's happening, because I do believe that he was attacked. Did you guys hear the story that was on Reddit? You did?
Yeah,
You did? Yes. Should we share with the audience? Should I do it? Should y'all do it?
Love was quarrel. He was flirting with somebody else's boyfriend or lover.
And they followed him home from the gay nightclub in Chicago that he frequents often, and they beat him up. And not saying I believe that, but when I see the pictures of him beat up, that's how it looked.
And who's walking around in cold Chicago with bleach at 3 in the morning?
Well, forget about that. I never met a kind racist that was attacking me.
Right.
If you're telling me that somebody who hated the fact he was black and gay attacked him, that don't match the picture I saw. That's me. That's me. All I'm saying is there is at least 25 different reasons to be a little skeptical. And that's outside of just the times we're in. It's tough to believe things. I don't believe Hollywood. I don't believe actors. I don't believe police. And I don't believe the government. And all of those entities are here.
Yeah. And they're loud.
That's a wild.
They're very loud.
I'm being honest. That's how I feel. So pardon me if my third eye is a little attentive. I don't want to be insensitive to anybody who has ever been the victim of a hate crime. Please.
Absolutely.
Please no.
Absolutely.
Please no. And I want to be sensitive to him because he was attacked, period. Period. This dialogue is only about the timeline and the reasoning that's been told to us as the viewing public. I don't really agree with it.
It doesn't add up.
It's a little nuts.
Yeah,
It's a little nuts.
It just
a little
doesn't add
nuts.
up.
It is.
And if it comes out that this is indeed a hate crime that's happened, then we will apologize.
I will be the first person to apologize.
Yeah, but as of right now, this is very, very suspect. That's all I'm saying.
And you know, I'm waiting on the footage because I was skeptical for a little while, and people said, "Come on, Joe, there's footage," and I said, "Nothing," because there's nothing you can say when somebody says there's footage. So I was waiting for the footage, and then they put that picture out, and the two niggas look like ghosts. I ain't see a red hat. I ain't see white skin. They didn't even have a white walk. I couldn't tell who these niggas were. Like, you think you tell a walk? I had no idea who they was.
Yeah, the footage wasn't very.
It wasn't
much there.
It was a little grainy.
Yeah, it wasn't
You
much.
can't see it standing up in court.
Yeah.
Oh, this whole shit sound like a setup out of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't believe anything. I'm jaded.
No, I'm with you on this one for sure. I'm with you.
And I think he's going to let it blow over. That statement was so vague that I think he's just going to let this roll out.
I am still waiting to hear from the girl that was in the car crash with Terrence J.
You will never hear.
But I'm not joking. Why won't I hear it? Because I ain't supposed to hear it.
Right.
I'm not supposed to hear it. But that's all I'm saying. It's Hollywood.
Yeah, I feel you.
And this may sound...
You telling me I'm supposed to believe something out of Hollywood? Wait, and then I saw some docs that told me Hollywood was started in conjunction with the mob?
Oh yeah, I mean.
Oh, wait. You just found out about that?
Do you want me to believe Hollywood? yeah, I just found out.
Oh, yeah. No, that's...
I also just found. Listen, I told you guys a few weeks ago that I looked up my fucking family background on my father's side. This past weekend, I looked up my family background on my mom's side, and let me tell you,
You're Irish.
You and Rory are brothers?
I got
fucked up. You don't think that's fucked up?
That you and Rory are brothers? No.
That I'm not really supposed to be light skinned. I'm dark skinned,
Oh, okay.
but I'm light skinned.
You got dark skin tendencies.
Ain't no talking about. It's fucked up though. Ancestry.com, man.
Is that the site that your mom just told us she's from the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ancestry.com.
That's sick. That's a sick ass response.
Joe went and logged right in.
You're from the world.
I did.
He's related to Rory.
Oh, Rory had racist ancestors.
No.
If he's from the world.
Okay, never mind. No, you win.
Yeah, you definitely
No,
will.
not A Parks, not
Yeah.
me. My niece, my brother's daughter, my niece who's 18, 19, 20, I don't fucking know. She's in college. She went to the family reunion with my brother and my mom. The family part of I never go to that family reunion. I never go to that side. And she came back with questions. Okay. So she went on Ancestry.com and it said 17% European. So she had even more questions. Right. And that led me to having questions, which ultimately led to my mom answering some questions. Okay. And it's just interesting shit.
She had the answers.
I didn't like the answers. I don't like the answers on my mom's side. I didn't get the answers on my dad's side yet, but I'm a little fishy there. But I'm just really happy I'm here. So I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't your grandmother? Was your mom's mom? Was she?
That's exactly what I said to my mom. She said, but grandma was super light. I said, yeah, ma. I thought that grandma was lighter than me, and that's the end. I never delved deeper into it.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Until I maybe went to maybe my uncle's funeral on that side, and everybody was the same complexion as my grandma.
Right.
And then as a young 9-year-old or whatever, I had some questions. But I don't think a 9-year-old's mind is able to understand.
No, you can't process that.
Well, what ethnicity is your grandmother?
Switzerland is that side.
Okay.
That's a Switzerland thing. And yeah, some things happen.
As unfortunately
great granddad. It was great granddad on that side. The slave master he belonged to. It's crazy, man. It's craziness. But listen, fuck all that. The interesting part about it is, you talk to your dad. Well, I talked to my dad. My granddad just died, and I knew my great grandma. I don't know my great granddad, but great granddad ain't but a couple years ago.
Right.
That's the scary part of all of this. Yeah, it fucked me up a little bit. But I don't want to talk about serious stuff today. I'm Logic. That's the end.
You're Logic. You got more in common. You and Logic got more in common.
All right, so now that I know this, I'm entering myself in some of these mulatto conversations. Cole been calling himself the best mulatto rapper. I disagree if I'm mulatto.
It's a whole new conversation.
Oh, 100%.
It's a whole new conversation.
And I'm old privilege.
Yeah, it's old.
Like, niggas just been treating me black.
Yeah, no. Yeah. You're right.
Respect my shit.
No, we gotta respect it. If it's in the blood, it's in the blood.
I'm so joking right now. I'm so kidding right now.
If it's in the blood, it's in the blood, man.
Don't do that, man, because I'm really your complexion or darker. Don't do that. Don't do that. They was wilding.
Okay.
Let's talk about game.
It definitely sounds like
crazy segue.
Yeah, I don't want to segue, man. Let's fucking talk about game.
Good rapper.
But why? Let's get to the shit.
Should we just have a game convo before we get to that shit?
That is exactly what should happen.
Okay, so let's have a game.
So Lipstick Alley says that. No, I'm serious. Lipstick Alley says it's corny now that since we got the bag, we have to explain everything to a newer audience because a lot of them are day one.
We've been doing that for a while, though, kind of.
But a lot of them are day one to understand the day one's feelings toward explaining things. I just told y'all that I hate that, you know, we have to sometimes question our quote unquote edge.
Right.
So I mean, I understand the point. So I want to provide some history for the people that think this is out of the blue. Nothing in the music industry is out of the blue.
Right. First and foremost.
That's first. And that's important because that was one of the first lessons I learned coming into the music business. And that's one of the toughest ones to learn, that there really is no coincidence. So let's go back to the creation of
Fire?
Yes, I'm looking for it.
The song or actual fire?
Actual fire.
Don't Parks.
What year BC was that one?
8.
They're calling Just Blaze.
Y'all hate all my good tunes.
Do you guys think dinosaurs really existed? Oh,
For sure.
okay. I don't think they existed.
Hey, hold up now.
Is this just an excuse to play your music? How you not even stream your own music and just play it off the
Wait, what'd you say, Rory? Let me turn it down so I can hear you. What'd you say?
So why you not even stream your own music?
Yeah, get that
like,
point.
You just gonna play it off
Get
iTunes?
that point.
I
1
don't
cents.
stream music.
That's weird.
I buy music.
Me too, but I stream it too.
I'm not streaming Joe.
I buy it and then I stream it.
Like a
Did you
loser I
buy
look
Fire?
like. Huh?
Did you buy Fire?
Probably.
Okay.
You got to buy your album when it first comes out.
I did.
Yeah.
20 of them.
That's like an old music industry.
I did that into year 17.
Yeah. I still buy it.
I had to get my shit. Somebody had to get these sound scan numbers up.
Yeah.
He was gonna be the one.
Yeah, me and my mom.
I bought your
Virgin Megastore.
I bought Rage.
Virgin Megastore.
I need the CDQ.
Oh, thanks, Marks.
Yeah.
Get the CD.
I especially liked when my peak career days were over and you guys were looking for the new Kendrick tune on bootleg and it was nothing but Pump It Up. Yeah, I thought that was dope.
Good song.
I like that. And I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
The hackers. It's
Some
the
niggas
hackers.
thought it was me.
Oh, quote
always the
unquote,
hackers.
Cobb did it.
They always blame me, and they always go to that bum ass story. Yo, Joe used to be on all hip hop begging for porn passwords. Listen, that was once.
That was one.
That was
Still holding on to that?
Yeah, man, I don't think that's fair. Yo, niggas that had the porn passwords in 01?
Yeah.
Fam.
You had the Bang Bros password?
My nigga.
Fam.
Yeah,
You
because
was that
they
nigga
was only
that-
going to give you the preview.
Yeah.
You wasn't going to bust off the preview.
Your man had the password. That shit-
Yeah.
that was the Netflix password before Netflix.
I don't know
was.
why they're
Bang Bros?
clowning. I don't know why they're clowning me.
Bang Bros was the password before Netflix.
If dude in all hip hop had the password, Cheer 201 was asking for it.
Shit, 201.
Shit,
Yeah.
201.
How'd you spell it?
C-H-E-A.
All right, let's make
Is that still your?
Yeah.
That was your YouTube shit till like last year.
No, it's still there. I just click other.
Oh, you have the secondary?
Yeah, secondary. That's the one that's popping now. I didn't know.
Shit,
Cheer. See why I can rap? Cheer.
no, yeah, you can't come back. I ain't even say nothing yet, my nigga. God damn. I didn't say anything.
Respect Cheer.
All right, respect, my nigga. You got it.
Nigga won't respect Cheer.
It's only Joe.
cheer.
It's only Joe and Premium Pete still saying cheer.
Cheer.
That was a podcast joke.
Premium Pete, you said?
Yeah, it's his thing. He be saying cheer.
If I,
That's my man too. I'm not clowning him. I'm just saying, just Joe.
No,
and
you kinda
Premium.
clowning him.
Shut up real
Yeah,
quick. All right, shut up.
little
All right,
clown.
everybody be quiet so I can clown real quick. I laugh at the dudes who you could tell they created their name in '87. Funk Master Flex.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Premium Pete. Why was Pete the premium? I'm shutting up now because that nigga tough. But Fire, for some reason I was in Los Angeles having to finish the vocals with a polyp on my vocal cords. Somebody brings
Adding a struggle to it.
somebody that was in LA. I normally recorded in New York. Somebody brings in a very young game. I don't remember who this was that brought him in.
New Jersey Devil?
But
New Jersey?
It wasn't New Jersey Devil. We might have came in a picture of 2 years later, but it was
JT the bigger figure?
This was
I'm just thinking of people that was around game at that time.
JT was bigger figure.
Game is gonna fuck Rory up, and
Wait,
I'm not gonna help.
Wait, y'all think I'm clowning?
I would help.
You gotta help.
I would help. He couldn't take both of us.
Thanks, man.
What am I saying here? All right,
Yeah,
so
Game
so
alone
Game comes in the
probably,
studio. I don't remember who brung him to the studio, but they brought him there with a story. And the story at the time was, here is this young man who's a phenomenal MC, who's having a hard time putting records together. So what could we do? They were talking to Skane. They were not talking to me. I maybe met Game then and paid him absolutely zero mind like I do with most rappers while I'm in the studio,
Right.
and went back to recording. Fast forward from there. That was my first time meeting Game. I do the Clue tape. I do the He Should Be in a G in the Vid with all the gangster actors. I thought it was a metaphor. Clearly at the time it was not. It was a diss. Game clapped back. That spawned the Joe Budden Game beef. And boy, that was a great beef.
Yeah.
That was a good beef, man. And that's one of the reasons I like what these kids are doing now with the beef with your friends and reply quickly. You got 48 hours. If you don't, you're done.
Right.
Because that's what we did back then with niggas we hated.
Yeah.
We wasn't friends, and we were looking to kill you, And you better be strapped to a studio because I'm going to give you 300 bars in the next 30 minutes. That's what it was, and that's what me and Game got into. And boy, was it a classic battle then, right? Fast forward from there, the street guys behind me meet up with the street guys behind Game, which were different street guys at the time. Come on, I don't want to hear that shit. Which were different street guys at the time. At the time, this was, who was Game signed to? It's super tough. Scary shit. That wasn't Black Hand. That was Graph. I beefed with him too. I beefed with all the niggas.
Black Hand,
I beefed with all of. I beefed with all of the people that were signed to people that you shouldn't play around with.
I'm sure that call from Chaz was not a fun one.
Y'all know Game was with who? I don't remember who was managing Game at the time.
But it was someone from New York.
But God, he was tough. He was tough because I couldn't talk to him.
Okay.
Like,
you couldn't get him on the phone?
and no, we're gonna talk about that later because there's some scary shit happening to me. There's some scary shit happening in hip hop right this second. It's been an ongoing theme of minds of the internet meeting the streets and the language barriers that exist. And I'm seeing a lot of scary shit. I'm sure the Tekashi topic will lead us there. But back then, this was scary shit. No, your tough guys had to talk to their tough guys. Remember how Dave Chappelle just said his goons and R. Kelly goons had to negotiate? Yeah. That's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
When people are tougher than you, you have to call the people you know that are tougher than you. So they squashed all of that.
Right.
God damn, Weapon Nitty got me in a lot of trouble, man. I didn't know nothing about these real killers I was fucking.
Shout out Weapon Nitty.
God damn it. But so that beef was over and done with. And then we fast forward and get to Joe Budden going to E1.
It's a big fast
That's a
forward.
long time. Yeah, it's a big fast forward.
You're right. And I should have zero to do with Game at this point. But I do. Because when Amalgam sells the Joe Budden contract to E1 and I land there at the time, that's a big acquisition. And I'm probably one of the bigger artists there.
Right.
Until maybe 2 years later when Game arrives.
Well, hold on. I think,
Yeah, you
I think
did a song
I think you
before
skipped
that.
a step. Yeah.
Yeah.
Padded Room. What was the name of the record? Future?
Future, yeah.
Like that record a lot.
Oh,
Talk about patching up.
shit,
Yeah,
we
you're
did
skipping
a
the whole step.
record together.
Yeah. It was a single.
I like that record.
No, it's a good record.
It was a
Who was
single
on
off
the
that
hook? Who
project.
was singing on that hook?
Some nigga. Hold on, let me try to find that record. What's
That's a
the
good
name?
record.
Had him
What's the
singing
name
the
of that
Future.
bullshit?
The Future.
The Future. Then Future came out, ended that. What no
I got it
more?
right. I got it right.
Oh, yeah, play yeah. Turn down a little bit. Hey, it's not fair. This was the sound back in the day, though.
Listen, you know I should know your music a lot. I like this
That
song.
was Polo the Dawn.
That was like, what, 10 years
It
ago?
sounds like this
Parks.
is definitely Polo the Dawn era.
I'm gonna fuck you up, Parks.
Parks is
I'm gonna fuck Parks up.
This is the
That's
Polo
what
the
he
Dawn era.
did.
Joe was definitely trying to get... Trying
Nah,
to
it's
cross
record
over
bang
right
on
now.
it.
He's trying to cross
Let's
over.
hear the song. I can't hear you.
That was Amani.
No, but go to Game. I don't want to hear me.
Jet to the Hamptons. Fucking drive.
It's right there.
Jet to the Hamptons.
Who takes a
Niggas always
jet
want
to
to
the
jet to the
It's right
Hamptons.
there.
First of all, they take a
That shit
helicopter.
is
That's how I know
47 minutes from here.
Would you turn it down if y'all are being funny? I can't hear y'all joke.
Hampton is 47 minutes from
I
here.
can't jet there.
Take a helicopter.
More flew to Malibu from fucking LA.
lied about
Yes,
it.
you
You
did.
made that bullshit.
Nah, I don't hate. All right, turn it off. God damn. Joe Budden is old and trash. All right, so
This is when you signed to Black Wall
So
Street.
we did a feature. We even did a feature together after we pieced it up. I went to Amalgam and told
That's
them.
usually what happens
Well,
after
how did you guys piece it up? I'm asking.
I went to Amalgam
Said piece this up for me.
and told him the Game charged way more than he did. And I called Game and said, "Yo, I'm gonna take this. You take that." Game said, "Cool," and that was the end of that. Great record, and I was broke as shit. I needed that $30K. Thanks.
So
Yeah,
significant
Malcolm was
amount.
rolling
and
it.
Game was at its peak. Go Game.
Amalgam had that bread.
Oh yeah, and probably why you're not around.
Malcolm was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say what you
No,
could say about
no.
how it ended.
I'm saying
but
no because we're a big platform. but yes. So that record happened then, and everything is fine. Fast forward to what was I fast forwarding to? E1.
E1.
E1. Joe Budden gets there, pretty big acquisition at the time. Until 2 years later, Game and Whack 100 signed a really big deal for close to X amount of dollars. I can't say because E1 made sure that they would never say, and they told Game and Whack to never say. But I found out, and that's important to note because that's where I think some fake rapper tension came from, I think. But not rapper tension because Game and I never spoke. It would have never been a beef. At the time, I was trying desperately to get away from E1, and Game had just arrived with a Drake record.
Wait.
Yeah, it was called 100.
Yeah.
Nah, that was before that.
No, it was not. That was his first release on E1. That double album.
He signed to E1 maybe a year
But you had already
before.
put out.
I had put out music.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking
Game
about
just got
his deal.
Okay.
He got a big deal.
Right.
He got a Drake record. He should have got a big deal. You got a Drake record. You put out a double album on E1, and that album was great.
Yeah, well,
The Red Joint? Hell yeah.
He was deserving of a big deal.
100%, Maul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I understand the music business. So while I was trying to get away from E1, Game and Wax signed a huge deal, and they should have. I don't think they felt like that. I don't think they knew that I felt like that.
Okay.
Because not only was I the biggest act in the building, maybe when they got there, one of the bigger acts, but probably the person that brought them to that building, Gabby, was basically like family to me. From Def Jam, from Skane, from that's still family.
Right.
Facts.
So that's a little bit of tension. Pardon me if this is long and drawn out, but this is a podcast and we're here to draw out things. So somehow that spawned a beef between, and not a beef, I'll just say tension. I saw Whack 100 going on about, he was going on a whole bunch of rants about how Joe Budden wouldn't get a release date from E1 Game, and them niggas is the new niggas in town. We got a lot more money. We push them niggas back if we feel like it. Everything at E1 revolves around us.
Well, let's put in context that at that point was our introduction to the internet, who Whack 100 was, and he was talking about everyone at the time. It wasn't like just a release specific to you. Whack was talking about everybody at that time.
Okay.
Let's just put things in the context of who Whack was becoming on the internet.
Okay. I guess I never really looked at it like that because all I thought was, well, where does this come from with me?
Right.
Where does this come from with me? But whatever. I ain't about to go digging and find out. That was that. I was trying to get the fuck away from E1. That's exactly what I did. Fast forward to Joe Budden's altercation with the Migos.
Okay.
BET Awards. Joe Budden works for Complex. Big blow-up misunderstanding between Yachty and myself that transfers over to Migos and myself at the red carpet and the BET. Fast forward 3 weeks later, I'm at Park's house trying to do a podcast. I get a phone call, or I see an Instagram post from, you guessed it, Whack 100. Yet again. Some Joe Budden shit. Joe Budden is confused. Come to find out, Whack 100 is really, really tight with P.
Okay.
From QC.
Okay.
And I walked out of Park's house and I had maybe an hour-long conversation with Whack 100 about things. Period.
Okay.
Things that shall remain anonymous. I was pretty transparent. Whack was pretty transparent. And we both spoke as men with families.
Right.
It was a great talk.
Good.
It was a great talk. And came back in here, I did my podcast. Fast forward to, is that now?
I would think. I don't think there's anything.
Fast forward to now. I haven't heard the song, but I've heard about it. Apparently there is a song being teased and promoted. This is the song where Game is saying whatever he's saying about Kim and Kanye. He has also included my fiance and myself. I can't speak about who else may or may not be included because I haven't heard the song, but he has addressed some other women online. I assume K. Michelle to be one of them.
Okay.
Why does K. Michelle always just catch it? Can we just leave K. Michelle alone?
She is always like, her name just always comes up for whatever.
I just want everyone to leave
Well,
K.
K. Michelle
alone.
replied with, you know what I mean, it'd be the niggas that let you ride their face that be the first ones to talk shit.
First of all, what's
And
wrong,
then
what's wrong with riding
he
my face?
reposted that and just said, I'm just reposting my friend's shit because she wants y'all to see it. Let's pause for a minute and you guys give me your top 4 pettiest rappers ever.
50 number 1.
50 is in there.
50 is
Game is in there.
Game is there.
Who else is there?
Jay's there on the low.
Jay's petty.
Jay is definitely there.
Drake is
but
there
way
too.
more so.
Yeah.
than-
Drake is behind the
Drake
scenes
too.
petty. He's super petty.
Yeah.
Sorry, Drake. I want to interview. I'm just got to call like I see it, bro. Hear that, Lipstick Alley? I told the truth.
I gotta find number 5. You a 6th man. You're not in the starting 5, but you're a 6th
I'm
man.
with you. I'm with you.
You're a
Game is
6th
in
man.
there.
No, Game. Game's already mentioned.
Oh, we already mentioned.
Yeah.
We got 50. We got Game. We got Jay. We got Drake.
Okay.
We'll find a 5th. We'll find a 5th.
We gotta think back. There's definitely some older petty rappers.
Yeah.
So where did I? So we're at now, right?
Yeah.
We're at now. Yes,
Here,
Joe.
here.
All right. So there's a record going around. Last week I came in here and I want to talk about it. And fucking Maul talked me out of it. Maul always talks me out of
Good friend.
shit.
Good friend.
But why? Let me tell you why I disagree. Don't answer.
Okay.
Let me answer first. And this is the mistake I made with Drake. So let me acknowledge that this is a mistake with Drake. Not so much here. Drake dissed me on that French record, and before anybody heard it, I was on his ass. That's a mistake when you're going against the most popular rapper in the world.
Okay.
You should let him diss you first.
Yeah. Okay.
Now when you're responding, you don't look nuts.
Right.
So this Drake record is being, I'm not Drake, the Game record is being teased and promoted, and of course I caught wind of it because we catch wind of everything. And I wanted to come in last week and talk, but Maul told me to stop. Why?
Because why?
Because that's what he wants.
And that's what makes this interesting.
That's what he wants.
That's what makes this weird. Because I guess I'll go through the range of emotions. That's what I'll do. You hear something like this, and as men, you immediately, it speaks to your ego, your pride. You immediately start talking your man shit, and you want to get into some shit.
Right.
I'm not above it. That's what happened.
Right.
The more I sat and thought, I said, well, God damn it. Why am I in this? Like, I mean, I don't know if this is true. I've never asked if this is true. But why would I be in this? Even if it was true. If this were true, why am I hearing about it now? From you.
Right.
That's something to ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you beat at some point and we never heard about it, I'm to assume you didn't think it was such a stat. So if you're telling me about it now, I assume you to believe it to be a stat. And if you believe it to be a stat now, I'm assuming it to be because she is with me. Which makes you one of the weird niggas that gets fucking praise from fucking behind guys. I'm just telling you how my weird brain looks at things.
Right.
That's one. The more I obsessed over it, I got into a place of extreme gratitude. Because that's not even my fight today. I've never said so what more than I've said it since Hov said it to me.
Right.
2 great words.
Yeah.
But the more I sat and thought about this, is the more I said to myself, nigga, so what? What type of loser, face-ass nigga is you, nigga? Let me explain something to people out there. I don't give 2 fucks what anybody did before I was involved with them.
Yeah.
To me, that's more loser shit.
Yeah.
I just don't. And now that I'm here, I address things accordingly, and I don't really see a need to address it accordingly with you because you ain't say it to me, nigga. You said it in a song. And you can call me Game. Whack 100, you got my number. I ain't hear from you neither, nigga. I say that to say we have to, I don't personalize things and we have to put everything in perspective. This is marketing 101. This is not new. We've seen this from Game for quite some time.
His whole career.
My stance last week when he was talking about Kim and Kanye, and I was like, yo, Game don't have to do that. It don't change because it's me.
Yeah.
It don't change. It don't change because it's me and mine. How I feel is how I feel. So let me say how I feel. Game, you don't have to do this. Let me be the first nigga to tell you that the rapper that I think you are, with the catalog that I think you have built, with the hits that you have, with the longevity that you have, with the crew that you have from the coast that you rep, it's a pop. It's probably second right now behind Atlanta. Maybe it's a really popping coast.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
They're right there.
A lot of popping MCs. I argue Nipsey had one of the best albums last year. There's Kendrick. I don't need to go through all these niggas.
J-Rock too.
There's a million of these niggas. Yeah. Problem had a great album.
Yeah.
It's too many of the niggas that's dope out there.
Yeah.
Boogie has a good album.
Boogie has a great album.
Yeah. Reason
had an amazing album.
J-Rock had my favorite.
There are too many of
West
the
Coast
dudes
out
out there that are creating great music. Yeah. And when I got my brain into that, the more I got my brain into that is the more that I felt sorry for Game. Is the more that I felt bad. See, because hey, you fight with me, Game. Unfortunately, the fight I'm fighting includes you. It's all inclusive of creators. Thank God I worked my way out of that fight that you fighting, Game. What's this nigga real name? Jason?
Jason.
Don't fucking talk to me, no nigga named Jason. You talking about my girl with a girl name. Watch your fucking mouth, man. I feel bad for niggas like that because I understand. Unfortunately, today, real good MCs have to do shit like that. Because real good MCing ain't really getting it done. And I never thought about how ice fucking cold Game was. Until. And let me just say, I think that's trash. I'm stopping that in 2019. I'm done saying how cold or trash niggas are while I'm not gonna rap. I ain't gonna do nothing but talk. But in talking, I never thought about Game because Game don't come to me. Game is ice.
Put a note here.
MOP killed this.
I was gonna say, I thought where's 50
I was hoping for the MOP version.
I need to hear Fame
I'm
real
not
quick.
giving Game no hard shit. Fuck out of here, nigga.
Okay,
I'm trying to diss this thing. Pause.
Great record.
For sure.
Word.
Classic record. I'm not saying that to this game. I can't say that to this game. Most of my career was spent cold.
Yeah.
So it's not a diss. I come from a place of identification, not comparison. I understand it. I empathize with it. Game don't have a single. Savon, where's Game signed to? Don't look nothing up. Tell me.
E1 still. E1 still.
Is it E1 still? Telling. It's telling. You know what it means? It means bad fucking business practice is what it means. That is what it means when you are signed to E1 and you have to do this salacious, sensationalized bullshit, this tasteless bullshit where you calling out people that have clearly moved on and not thinking anything about you. And then what does it say about that? That you're calling out women that ain't said a word about you. They're not proud of you, nigga. You're not the brag guy. Why are you telling us? It's off. It's a little off. But not to me, because your entire career you've been the guy that's just begged for acceptance. I'm the guy that brought the Change Your Heart clip to existence. I know you well. Your type. I know that type. Well. I just feel bad that you have to do that. Not just you. There is a plethora of rappers that because their music is not garnering the attention that they want. And I hate that I'm saying that on this podcast. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it sucks.
But I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to speak facts.
Right.
Well, I think the overall point is that Game doesn't need to do this because he's had one of the better discographies of any rapper that we can name in the last 15 years.
I feel bad. I feel bad that he thinks he has to do it.
Well, here's what I think. Because his last album, 1992, which I thought was one of the more underrated albums of maybe 2 years ago that came out?
Well,
I love that album. Game didn't do any of the antics that we've known him to do in his early career with that album.
That album
it was a great album, but it didn't make the noise that it should.
That album got super overshadowed by Documentary 2 was dope, and then he came out with the Documentary 2.5 or whatever, which was also dope, but that got overshadowed a little bit by the previous one. And then 92
so
was right after that.
If I'm Game and I'm thinking from his perspective, what worked in my career?
And
the antics.
That's the other reason that I try not to personalize this, because people only do what they know to work for them.
Right.
And
this has worked for Game's entire career.
And I don't mean to cut you off. It's working right now.
That's true.
Well, and that's Tamal's point, because that's the conundrum you're faced with. When you know that someone is doing something solely for attention and you don't really give a fuck about it because that's not your vibes, not your energy.
Right.
I could not say nothing about it at all.
Right.
I mean, but this is right on par with what Game has always done, though. I mean,
he took a break.
Yeah, you got to think. I mean, the dick print online, the photo.
Maul. Number one, this is right on par with what Joe does. Number one. Number two, funny you should bring that up. I've heard some stories.
I don't want to hear
I'm
all set.
I'm cool on those stories.
Yeah. I don't hear no stories.
That's why I don't understand why niggas would fuck with me. I'm petty. I've heard shit. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. God forbid I go put what I heard in the verse. It would be the end. But I can't say that because I'm not going to rap. Where am I at with this? I assume there'd be some more shit said. I don't care. Boy, they're trying to do an amazing job of letting everybody know that this track exists. I've heard Surf done heard it, Act done heard it. Boy, y'all are promoting. I hope this gets you over 100K or whatever numbers you feel you need to do, so you don't have to behave in such a desperate manner, because that is what this is. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there.
I'll pick up there, but it's a bigger. See, the only problem I have with that is like my rap heroes, they wouldn't do shit like that. They wouldn't do shit like this. And so I look at Game as it. I mean, it is what it is. Game is
a
arguably
fucking clown.
No, but away from that, he's a West Coast. He's a hip hop legend.
And
you can't talk about West Coast music and not mention Game.
And a historian, for what it's worth. Right. Like, he's always paid homage to the people that came
Hold on,
right? So
you're gonna piss off LeBron James. He is not a hip hop historian.
I just don't understand why he would continue to go these routes, though.
So when you say that, let me get into his mind for a little bit. Game has been Instagramming, is rap this soft. I said what I said. The hip hop I come from, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say without everybody getting their panties in a bunch. That's what he's saying. And he hadn't been the only one to say that. Quite a few people have echoed that, maybe not in this moment, but period. So is there any validity there? Maybe.
I just thought
that was a common conversation with the push shit, I guess, with the shit he said.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting that Kanye, in his record a while, he said, I know it's some corny niggas you wish you could unswallow. You know what I mean? And it's just funny now that years later, Game would, bring this up. So I mean, obviously, it's people move on, man. And my only problem with Game is it's like, dog, you a legend, man. Like you got to start walking like a legend. You got to start talking like a legend. You got to start acting like a legend.
Acting like
this is like, fam, you don't need to do that. And then on a bigger scale,
this ain't G shit.
This ain't man shit.
I can't look at you and see G. I can't look at you and see man.
We know you get pussy. I know Game gets pussy. This isn't news to me. Like Game is. So I just don't understand where he going with it. Like, fam, we know you fucking.
But that's why, man. Hold up, Maul, because the newer guys today.
And why do you care that we care?
But wait, hold up, Roy. The newer guys today, that is a thing where niggas use women as, well, that's always been a thing. Niggas use women as assets and signs of power and respect and all of that shit. So that is a thing, right? This is just off. It's different.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to me, man.
Game is not from that era. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
But he is, though. He is.
No,
I'm talking about
he kind of started that era.
How?
Nah, what era?
No, he didn't.
What era are you talking about?
He didn't start.
The younger of talking about the women shit, like with the Maya thing with him and 50, like they kind of.
Oh, you talking about with songs like
and more
Melissa Ford being broke, driving a Honda Accord.
Yeah, like I think he kind of helped start that. And more, it's funny. I had the same debate in my head today about my rap heroes doing that shit, and I thought about the Jay Nas battle when he talked about his baby mother and the condom shit. And I was battling with that of like, all right, am I taking my Jay bias out of this? Because Jay did do that too.
But that was
to some degree.
But that was a battle.
And that's why
we engaged in a battle.
Yeah, and that's why some people felt like he lost.
That's where I tried to hold it.
And let me give Jay a little bit of credit because I left condoms on your baby seat. There is some type of wit and cleverness and shock value in that. Right. I've had Sin ripping the buttons off of my shirt. I don't want to hear buttons with me no more.
I am a little sick of that bar.
I don't want to hear buttons no more. Nigga, be creative. Don't just shock me to death.
Yeah, it's just disappointing.
But no,
you don't need to be doing that.
Back to my point, I do think that era started in, what was that, 2002 or 2003, of just throwing in women into the verses. And I think Game was one of the first people to start that.
Okay.
I don't think he should do it in 2019.
Oh, I agree.
I think that should be reserved for some of the newer acts.
He's around our age.
36, 37, I would imagine.
I would like to hear Famous Dex tell somebody that, you know,
39.
Tatiana, you know, all these the young people are doing this. They're trading girls. They're showing the girl.
And let me just say, because we do have a platform, so let me just put out there, fellas, it is never cool to just talk about and expose chicks that you sleep with just for shock value. There's nothing cool about that.
But that's probably the most corny thing you can do.
But let's take it a step further than that. Game has already had some type of sexual harassment claims filed against him in a lawsuit to which he lost.
I didn't know that, but.
Yeah,
that whole thing from the Game TV show where Shorty came, and I'm not saying it's true or false. I don't know, but it happened. It happened. So that's one. Game has pictures laying up in the park with his finger up underage girls. That happened. Yeah. That happened.
Yeah.
That's who Game. That's who I know. Game. That's who the Game that I've seen on Instagram. It's social media. Right. This is what Game put online. Right. I'm just talking about the person we talking about. That person should stay far away from topics like this, is what I'm saying. For his benefit, not for mine, not for Ye's, not for anyone else's. He should want to stay far away from it. He didn't even want to pay the money when he lost the suit. So now Whack 100 is saying, hey, if anybody denies these allegations, we're going to leak the tape. Fam, I dare you. I dare you leak a tape. I don't even know shit to be true or false. I ain't supposed to send. She said go high. Man, fuck that. I dare you to leak some shit. Watch me find New York Lisa Bloom.
But it's just
what type of suit you gonna wear?
I wish this nigga. I ain't playing with none of you niggas.
But
fuck is wrong with y'all?
But deeper than that, why? Even so, why?
Mom. We're saying why.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
It's all marketing.
Yeah, but it's different marketing. You can market differently, man.
No, I agree. It's like it's disgusting marketing, but it's marketing. We're talking about it right now.
There's actually dope ways to market now.
I agree.
Like really cool ways of marketing.
Yeah. We've seen it with Dreamville.
Like, nigga, go Insta Live with one of your friends. go do a split screen like the kids are doing.
That's the new shit. That's the new feature. The split screen on IG Live is a new feature.
It's interesting to me because I feel like every way that Nipsey is moving and maneuvering out here right now, I feel like it's what Game should be doing. Like, I feel like the way Nipsey has worked his way into a conversation, into the upper echelons, of, the circles in the industry.
Grammy nominated.
Yeah, like, but I feel like that's Game could be that.
The Game is his OG.
This is what I'm saying. So it's like
music,
right, in the music world. Yeah. So I'm just, but you can just tell Nipsey his demeanor is more cool, more laid back, more, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm gonna go this way, and he's always had dope ways of marketing. Yeah. He's probably had some of the dopest ways of marketing in music, like ever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like. Game he should just, I don't know their relationship, But he should talk to Nip, and they should try to, you know what I mean? Because I look at Game like that. Like, he's that talented. He's
makes
that
great
dope.
music.
Makes great. He has classic albums. He has. It's just like, fam, you should be doing some phenomenal shit.
It's so funny you mentioned that. Do you remember the documentary, that the DVD that came with the album?
Yeah.
That was Game.
Right.
Game was this cool, like, LA dude the whole time. He went to different hoods, like Crip hoods. He was cool there.
He came to the Bronx and was playing ball.
Like, he was cool.
He spent most of his time in New York.
Yeah.
He was just cool. Like, he didn't seem extra. He wasn't doing nothing out of the necessary. Like, he was just a cool motherfucker in that. And I'm speaking from a DVD because I was a kid.
But this is the saddest part of it all. Outside of us all, man, don't nobody give a fuck about the song.
And that's the other part. It's like, that's why I'm like, but why? Because it's not moving the needle at all. That's why I don't understand. It's like when a girl posts a nude,
it moves
and her followers jump up
day.
like 20 followers. It's like, okay, you
now
move
what?
the needle. Like, it's
what?
like you jumped out there, you did that. Now what?
Yeah, this is y'all trying to fucking push the media outlets to talk about some shit. That's the same thing as me reading all this shit about a bidding war for Tanaje. Same thing.
But it's like,
chill. She got a hive now. I didn't even know.
And then people
Is
have
there a bidding
families
war
now,
for
man. That's the bigger thing.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Kim has a daughter. You know,
he has daughters.
He has Game has kids.
He
Like, everybody got
has
kids. It's a
daughters.
It's a different play now. You got to run a different play.
Yeah, and wait, and in his defense, let me be fair for a minute. I don't think he's really been in America lately. I think he's been away. He may not know that is the climate over here right now.
He has Instagram still and Twitter.
And he's active in.
I don't know how
Game is
active he
active
is
online.
in
Game
it.
is active online. And let's double back to the point of us saying you at your age needs to kick knowledge. I know it's kind of like a cliche phrase, but I think
understand
Game
where
at 39, everything he's been through and done it better than a lot of rappers his age.
Yeah.
I would love to hear a mature album from Game.
Yeah.
That would be a dream for me. After his whole discography, everything you went through, give me a mature Game album.
You asking for a mature Game album from an immature Game?
We're speaking hypothetically the same way he was saying about he should act more like Nipsey.
Yeah, but off of the kick knowledge thing, probably more important is for us to act knowledgeable.
That was a bar.
And we just are not seeing that from Game, and that's probably where the disappointment comes from as a fan of his ability. Like,
okay, so
even with me and mine included in all of this mess, I'm still able to observe it as mess. Objectively, is what I'm saying.
let me quickly shoot Game some bail. From what
I'll fuck you up.
From what I've heard from credible people that have been in those sessions, outside of that record,
Great album.
there's records on there about his relationship with his father that we all know has been rocky recently with his passing. There's a mature Game album in there.
In here somewhere, you said.
I have a question.
In all the records that they have in that studio, there is a mature Game album.
I heard they was trying to not let this record come out at all.
I have a question. Is this song like Dreams or something like that? Like, is it like a just put mad names in a record?
Game shit has always been naming names.
No,
It's
but
the
like hypothetical sex situations with mad people, like
We can't say that.
Or,
Yeah.
Well, we can't say that because I can't prove that he did anything with Kim, and I can't prove that he did anything with Sin.
Right.
So I'm taking.
I think Kim
I'm taking his word.
I think Kim has admitted her past with Game.
because if this
I
is
didn't
just
hear
if
that.
this is just one of them type of records,
I've
then-
only heard her admit to friendship,
Oh, okay.
which is a woman's way of
I
saying
want
I
to note
fucked
that
him.
I don't pay attention to anything the Kardashians really particularly do unless Maul is there. So I can't say that's true.
Yeah,
But if it's one of those type of records,
don't go over there again.
then it's whatever.
Yeah, if it's one of those, then there's obviously
No, it ain't. It ain't whatever then neither. It ain't whatever. Period.
No, but rappers have made those type of records.
Right.
Dreams, a fucking R&B chick. and
Exactly.
other-
What that mean? I have to understand it.
Well, you kind of take it differently because you know it's just a dream.
I'm not personalizing it now, so I don't take it different.
Right.
If I take it the same exact way.
I will. If it's just like one of those type of records, then it's like, okay, yeah. But if he's talking about real, interactions that he's had with women, like he's really exposing his relationships with women throughout the years, then I have a problem with that. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But if it's just dreams of fucking R&B chick or whatever, that type
Or
of
like
shit.
Nicki did with people, even though they may have been in a relationship or
Right.
married.
And,
or
and we know that Nicki was not fucking every rapper.
Right.
We know that it's
Right.
just
Right.
for fun.
Right.
I don't think that this is the case at all.
Well, Game is saying that. You don't have to think. Game is saying, yo, if you tell me I'm lying and I'll leak some shit. Damn, nobody cares.
That's true. That's true.
Niggas don't give a fuck. I don't know why. I don't know. I thought Game was a little better than that. I
would think so, too.
Some niggas know, like every time you see Trey songs, he gonna tell you, hey, I get bitches, you get bitches, everybody get bitches. That's the end. And you appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah, man, but
Like,
you know
it's
these
like
dudes
just
get.
know-
It's like we know
You're
what
like,
y'all doing out here,
what
man.
the
Like,
fuck?
yeah, like we ain't got to put that on a record.
And Lori Harvey, I'm sorry, this was ages ago. I'm not talking about recently.
Yeah, like dude, this ain't. It's just like why?
What? I ain't trying to jam nobody up. I'm not trying to jam nobody. Listen, she might hear this podcast, step right to that nigga in the bathroom. Yeah, Joe Budden said, nope. Don't do that with me.
Well, yeah. This isn't a Gap Band moment, but let's have some more fun. Got a little too serious there for Saturday.
Nothing, I'm going to piss. Ain't nothing Gap Band about that. It's been a great mood. It's been a great fucking day. Actually, let's play some great, a lovely day. Oh, no, man. Rory say something.
Rory say something.
This is me saying something while Joe finds.
Yo, what is your shirt, man?
I'm playing one of your aux core classics. Hold up.
I've never played this record.
Yes, you have. Shut up. Yes,
Look at the Bill Withers in my iTunes. I don't have this record.
Oh, you racist.
That's true.
Why didn't you play Bill? Don't
you don't got no Bill Withers in your Serato?
I do. I don't
you ain't got a Bill in your Serato?
I have this Bill Withers song.
How many other Bill Withers?
There's a lot. Parks,
There's a lot.
Yeah, relax. Oh, see?
There's a lot.
Parks.
See how it switches?
Parks.
Right.
What the hell? That's my Roberta Flack argument, though.
Because I play the B-side.
But there's only like...
I play B-side Bill Withers.
Of the
Roberta
Bill
Flack-
Withers songs that you have to have, this is at the top of the list.
Of course.
That's all I'm saying.
Roberta Flack got 2 songs. Outside of her.
She got an album.
No, she had albums with 5 other popping artists.
Well, that's true. But still.
How you guys
She was
feel,
the duet queen.
Yeah, well,
How do you guys feel about Bernice signing autographs?
She should.
I'll take one.
2019?
Long overdue.
I'll take one.
Yeah, today.
She signed Moleskine before.
My skin.
His chest.
I like.
Bernice on my chest.
I think this is dope that no one's taking a picture with Bernice. I think this is great.
I was there.
She signed my chest?
You asked.
I asked.
Wait, hold on. Why was your chest exposed?
No, it wasn't until he said right here.
You pulled down the collar.
That's what he said right here.
She was like, where?
He hasn't showered since.
Right here.
Did you pull down the collar or
Yeah,
did you pull
if
up?
you pull the collar down, that's nasty.
No, up might be nastier.
All right.
Pulling your shirt up is gross.
Nah, because once you stretch the collar, that's it. So
Whatever, man.
Yeah, but it's for Bernice.
we'll roll with this one. Oh, nah, he's definitely shirt up, man.
Don't nobody put. Wait.
No, you shirt up,
All
man.
right,
You
I'm,
know.
just asking, I'm not talking about me. I'm just asking. Y'all don't put your tank top over your head no more. Y'all
Nah,
y'all
I'm saying I only wear tank tops
Never.
no more.
Y'all don't do that when the
Y'all
sex is
kill me
intense.
for wearing socks and you still pull a tank top over your head?
I do
Just
that to
take
let
the
her
tank
know
top
that
off.
I could get Tarzan.
There's something really wrong with this dude, man.
Wait, when the tank top go over the head instead
the
of
head.
off?
It make you feel wild strong.
yo,
like, right here.
I got my
It make your shit sit up a little bit. Like you be kind of lightweight, feeling like you been in
Yo,
the
that's when I get shoulders on them.
Yeah. Nah, I don't do that.
Oh, when I get shoulders, the sex is great.
Nah, I don't do that no more.
Thanks, bro.
My sex is trash.
That's
when
a young-
I don't-
that's a
when I
young
don't-
boy move.
When I don't hit the shoulders
For
on
sure.
them.
That's
a
What?
young boy
The tank top? That's what I do it with the trash dick. It's just that 1 second of illusion to make you feel like,
it's about to be
he about to
crazy.
go ham. Oh, wait, why he? Damn,
wait, why?
Damn, that's crazy. That is the other reason that niggas stay in relationships, by the way.
So you can give the old dick?
Tarzan?
You know you can't get out in the streets with your new trash dick.
Viagra says otherwise.
You trying to lure somebody in with the trash dick? These chicks is mad judgmental nowadays. They're going to tell you, I'm cool.
I'm cool.
Yeah,
Word.
I'm
Chicks
fine.
will tell you about yourself now.
Yeah,
They used to not tell you about yourself.
Nah, they only tell you about yourself when they mad at you.
that's why I don't even fuck no more. Fuck that. You're going to tell me about it.
That's your plan? Like,
He's a
Listen,
great
bro.
talker.
They just going to say, yeah, why he not fucking?
He has great conversation.
Something's
really
off
trust
about
him.
him. They ain't going to say you trash.
nah, just stop fucking. That's it.
Yeah, props to my baby.
Yeah, bro, all right.
Put up this bullshit. All right, what else is input? Tekashi 6ix9ine. It is reported that he is cooperating with the federales.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was just a quick clip from the interrogation room of him singing.
Okay.
He was saying
Some exclusive audio that I have.
And the nigga was singing away.
But they gave him the Sprite and the cigarette. You know, once a nigga get that Sprite and that cigarette. Like, listen, man.
I'm tell. Look what it takes for a dude to tell. Give me a cig and a Sprite.
Niggas start telling everything once that Sprite and cig come. Don't let him get you real food. Crab legs and shit. Oh, he done told on. Crab legs in the interrogation room? We all
How quick could you
that.
get the crab legs? To the
It don't matter.
interrogation
Once
room?
they show up, you know what happened.
What would you want your last meal to be on death row?
I've thought about that before.
Why? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all got something going on I don't know about? Why y'all
No, but I have
what
thought
would
about
y'all last meal on death
I watch
row?
a lot of crime
I think-
documentaries and shit.
I think about things.
I've never thought about it. But
Think about it.
my favorite
Let's say
know.
you get a death chair at noon. You gonna go with breakfast or dinner?
at noon, like I'm out, they killing me
I
at
just
noon.
said that. Nigga.
Steak and eggs. I'm doing
If
brunch.
they fuck the eggs up, I ain't trying to die.
That'd be my big thing.
Bad eggs
Nah, we gotta
and
go
then
French
death.
toast. We gotta go French toast.
Can't fuck French toast up. I'll
Yeah, I
die.
need the
I'll
French
die with
toast
some
on the
bread.
side.
I'll take some bread.
I'll do some grits.
Jesus had
I'll do
bread.
some grits and some salmon
Okay,
croquettes.
I've thought about this further than y'all have. If I'm doing Fed time and you send me to Kentucky, I don't know if the grits are good there. I don't know if
Kentucky.
I don't know what's good there.
They got
I'm not
good
ordering
I
grits
can't
in Kentucky.
say I can't say for my last meal. I have to know what state I'm in. Like if I'm in New York,
Where
even
was-
then I'll be upstate. I don't know what's
Parks,
good.
where we was at that time. I tried to order some corned beef hash. That was Dallas.
I wouldn't order corned beef hash.
I forgot where we was
You know,
at.
corned beef hash is looked at as like a poor meal. Did you know?
Yeah,
that?
it is.
shout out
It's
to the
Irish. Yeah.
I never knew that.
I grew up poor, really, from my mom's side, which is crazy because that's the white side.
But I never knew corned beef hash was looked at like that.
I say this I don't want the Irish people to get mad. A lot of Irish food is peasant food.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, got you.
I'm Irish too.
Why? Explain that to me, please.
Corned beef and cabbage.
I don't know what Irish food is, and I don't know why it would be viewed
Corned
as
beef and
peasant food.
cabbage, shepherd's
Corned
pie.
beef is great. Wait, y'all claim that? Irish people?
Yeah, it's Irish
our
food. Yeah.
Oh, no, black people. We with you. With
We want to relate on the corned beef
Yeah,
hash.
I will say.
I don't understand how racism exists.
We
We
just
all
have
the
some
same
corned
when
beef
you think about
hash.
it. Just cook a great meal. We all come together.
Share that. The
I've
Irish
said on
niggas
this
going to share the
podcast
corned
that
beef.
rice could bring the whole world. Rice and weed could bring the whole world together.
Absolutely.
And some corned beef.
Rice
apparently.
and weed.
Yeah.
Word. And we
That's
just
all it takes.
fucking stupid white people were stuck on this cotton.
Yo, I will say, my heart sunk because Irish people don't have a lot of like delicacies. When I went to my Jamaican friend's house and had better corned beef, I was pissed. I was so
They
pissed.
do the corned beef better.
Yo, niggas was hype
Fam.
over some cotton.
What you mean? Hype? Who was hype? This was not hype over cotton, man. What's wrong with you?
White people was
The
hype.
whites were hype.
The whites was
Oh,
wilding
yo,
for the cotton.
white
What are you
people.
talking about?
Hey, we got to talk about the stock that white people put in the cotton. It's a fucking Q-tip, nigga.
For what it's worth, we all are wearing cotton.
It's a breathable
Every day.
fabric.
Every day. I mean, listen, I hate to be the guy, but it's a very important part of our fabric.
You
Every day.
don't deserve to be dark skinned.
What you mean?
Yo, Joe
you
is
should be
holding
like-
some resentment.
Yeah, Joe want to be dark skinned.
No, I'm showing it to you. It's on a pedestal. It's fucking,
He wanna be
I
dark-skinned.
framed my resentment.
Yeah, he want to be dark skinned.
Tekashi, I don't know why this is news to anybody. I told y'all 9 months ago that this kid was snitching.
Yeah.
I told y'all however many, whenever that was that we talked about this shit, that the judge wasn't playing with him. That's what it means when you tell somebody to go sit up for a year. They say, yo, you come back in a year, September 9th, let's talk to you and figure it out. Right? Then what happened? Something else happened that made me, then Shotty came to the courtroom and said, we ain't never snitching. He was talking to Tekashi. That's what I thought. This shit has been weird the whole time, man. Anybody that knows, that not knows, but has a good understanding of Daniel and his position. Actually, where's my phone? The streets is not for everybody. It's certainly not for me. I'm not cut from that fabric. I'm not going to do anything and trade 10 years of my life in jail. I am not.
Yeah.
I don't think Daniel will either. I didn't think that then. I didn't think that with Gummy, Duffy, Bummy, Dummy, all the fucking Gum Boy, Gummy Boy, Gummy Bears. I didn't think that with any of the
Leave
songs.
gummy bears out of this.
Gummy Bears are great. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't think that with any of the songs that was popping, the Tory song, any of the songs. I just never thought that he was cut from that cloth. And here we are. I believe every word of it because Rory told me this before Double XL did. We didn't break the story because we real niggas, and I wasn't going to snitch on a snitch. I wasn't going to snitch and tell y'all that the snitch was snitching.
Right. Yeah, right.
I wasn't going to do it.
But we knew once they moved him from that building. I mean, we
No,
Man, when they
we had
move
this
you from
info, we just didn't break it.
MDC, again, I came on here and talked about how MDC is a safe place and you can't even leave the fucking house unless the guards know every centipede of your moves.
You can get
just
brunch.
can't.
You can get brunch next to MDC.
You just can't do it. So if they're moving you from there, it says something. It says something to me anyway. So where does that leave us in all of this? Tekashi telling. Somebody called me and asked me, I'll let them remain anonymous, if this is the biggest case of a major artist turning state. Lil Kim took a stand, never told. Martha Stewart took a stand, never told. Who else took a stand, never told? A few niggas took the stand and never told, never told.
Pac to a degree.
Pac,
Yeah, he didn't tell.
Popcan didn't tell. I don't know.
Did,
After Pac, I just Popcan.
I don't think Pac got
Popcorn.
arrested.
He wouldn't tell if he did.
I agree with you.
He wouldn't tell. Meek was just with him.
And I want no beef with any of
You
them.
think
I
he
just
would
want to make
tell?
sure
Meek
that
wouldn't take a picture with him if he would tell.
to everyone that's part of that camp, we are just joking around. Everyone relax. I think this is the wrong people we should be
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
they'll kill us
That's why I'm trying to get a
for
disclaimer.
a podcast, my nigga. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
that guy.
yes, 100% for a podcast. You was talking, right?
That is,
You was
yo,
talking.
I'm that
That's
guy. Yo,
worse
my
than
nigga, you
rapping. You
over
was
the
talking,
podcast, word,
Yeah.
word, the Glock. I was just, y'all mean, doing the Spotify thing.
They gonna do the Spotify thing. on YouTube.
Spotify put a little bug in the left corner to
Yeah.
get these streams. They gonna just kill me.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Nah, man, it's unfortunate though, but we knew what was coming. We knew what was happening. And let this be a lesson, man. I mean,
It's not gonna be a lesson.
It won't be.
Probably
It'll be actually the worst
Honestly
lesson.
though, that's the sad part about it.
It'll
is
be
that
the
it won't be
opposite.
a lesson. It won't be. That's the sad part about all of this shit. It won't be a lesson.
What did I say 2 years ago on this podcast? My biggest fear with Tekashi is that all the kids are going to see this and think, this is how I should do this. This will be the way to my stardom. And I still think, even with him getting arrested and him going through all this shit, they're still not going to learn. They're still going to be like, well, at least he's still on the blogs.
My conspiracy
Well, blogs will be
theorist,
weird. Timeline.
obsessive and compulsive brain. If the doc said that Hollywood started in conjunction with the mobs and that they worked in conjunction with the police, my brain today tells me, why do I believe music is any different? especially when I look at who owns all of the major labels.
Right.
So when you think about that further, it's really, really, really sad when you think about a Bobby Shmurda who they were investigating, but the labels picked up and he had a hit and he ran off with his hit and he like locked his ass up, not even a hit later. I recently was informed about Blueface and his alleged highway shooting in LA. This is YouTubeable stuff. I'm old and washed, so I didn't know. But I'm seeing that. Apparently there's a case there, and Blueface is hot as fish grease right now. Shout out to Whack 100 yet again.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen there, but here's yet again, another hot, young, talented black rapper who's fighting a case. And here we go with Tekashi, who, you know, to me struck me as a kid who was battling an identity crisis and just trying to find his way as most 15, 16-year-olds do. And as soon as you start winning, they nab you. I can't prove what I'm alluding to, but there's some sick shit happening in the music business. There's sick shit happening in the world. And if we don't recognize it, if we don't talk about it, if we don't begin to make changes, then how will the music business be better for our children? The same way Killer Mike asked Envy, how could the working classes children feel better about the public school system moving forward? Like, how could the working class parents feel good about what their kids are going through or what their kids' kids will go through? It's the same thing I say about music. Like, I don't have time to beef with Game over who he fucked or didn't fuck because my kid does music. I do music. My youngest son appears like he will do music. He's grabbing microphones at 14 months old.
Right.
We won't be here, but immortality is through our children. My fight is for what I'm leaving them. And in music, if you look at this Tekashi shit, if you look at this Bobby Shmurda shit, if you look at all the cases that are a bit similar to this, if you look at all the young black aspiring entrepreneurs that y'all never even heard of that were brutally murdered last year, you'll come away with a different perspective of what's going on and who's pushing it, the powers that be. That's kind of what I'm saying. And because I've been privy to some of this stuff, it's really disturbing to me. So I'm going to pray for Daniel Hernandez. I'm going to pray for his family. I'm going to pray for his children's mom who keeps doing interviews. Give me the cord, Rory. Let me just pan to her. I say on this podcast all the time that a hit record feeds 1 million families. This is the phone one.
Yeah.
I say all the time that a hit record feeds 1 million families. So look at the success that kid was having. He has kids from multiple women. They now have no form of, I won't say no form of income, but not the same form of income. Like when we look at the effect that this stuff has on black households or minority households, it's a little disturbing. Let me play this clip really quickly if I can find it. His child's mother, one of them did a TMZ interview. For me, it was sad.
I hope she got paid for it.
For a TMZ interview?
Yes.
Probably not.
I hope she's getting paid for these things.
For a TMZ interview?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Everything I save, I don't see.
Anyone that has pertinent information should be getting paid for these interviews.
Yeah.
There's no way you should go when they hit you to be like, yeah, all right, I'd love to talk about it. Everything that everyone's waiting for to hear from me.
I don't see it.
Yeah, you should be getting paid for these.
I don't see it, but basically what
clicks,
she said in a
how
nutshell
much money
was...
TMZ is going to make?
I don't know. You know that. I don't know that their audience really knows that. Like, I don't know if I can knock the girl. Like, she's trying to get her story heard, and they probably called her. TMZ calls a lot of people. I don't know. I won't get into that, the business side of somebody wanting to get their story heard. But basically what she was saying was, you made your bed, you have to lie in it. And shit is hard now, but I'm going to do what I got to do. And I felt for the young lady.
It's always, it's never just the person that's locked up. It's always the families that, you got to remember. And he has a young kid, and, it's just sad, man. He's a young kid. Yeah, he's a kid. So
with young kids.
Yeah.
Kids having kids, raising kids.
Yeah, it's scary.
Say something while I find out.
Well, I mean, I hate to see it be recycled because I really think that Tekashi's father passing kind of made him try to fit in. And I think everything that he's done to this point that got him in this jam was trying to fit in.
His father passed when?
Early in his life that he was close with. So I think now it's a scary situation now that his child might be in the exact same position.
It's a cycle.
Yo, the men
trying to fit in now.
Cycle, yes. Yes. The men that didn't have dads to instill some shit in them, to just arm them with some tools I'm probably one of those people. My dad didn't come till 14, so I just picked up a lot of things from outside of the household. Is what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna learn some shit from somewhere. It don't have to be your dad.